Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Kemi, and I'm a huge Big Brother fan, okay? Huge. I want to talk about what's been going on in the house so far. It's week 2. This is our second HOH, and still so much craziness has been going on. It's insane. By the way, do not look at my nails. Oh, I didn't get my nails done this week. So I feel like this show hasn't even been on for that long, but it feels like forever, even though it's literally been, this is only like what, the second HOH. This is technically week 2. I feel like the show has been on for a month or something. There's just been so much drama, so much craziness. After that week, we saw a lot of changes going on in the house, and I just kind of want to talk about what's going on in that house and how everything's sort of just been going crazy. So let's get started. This is my review of week 2 of BB21. Let's get started. So last week, after Christy's HOH, she decided to nominate Ovi and take Cliff off the block, who was taken off by Sam's veto. I still don't really see what the point of that move was. I mean, I thought there was a chance that Kat could have gone home, but it doesn't matter anymore because now we found out that there's this crazy twist, which just totally changed the way the people in the house have to play the game. It is completely insane. So the twist is probably the craziest twist that I've ever seen happen in Big Brother. After nominations, Ovi went around the house trying to campaign for votes. He was going over to Jack's side of the house, which is now the alliance called, Grateful, aka Hateful, which is the term us fans decided to use on them. The Hateful Alliance is made up of Jackson, Jack, Annalise, Holly, Tommy, Christy. I think Nick is in that as well. And Bella. The core 8 in Hateful are pretty much the ones deciding who's going home that week. They control the majority of the votes. I'm not a fan of anyone in that alliance. In the beginning, I thought, Jack, Annalise, Bella, those 3 were definitely my favorites, my picks to win this season, but they're just so painful to watch now. I can't even root for them. Now that I see how they're playing, and now that the weeks are starting to go by, we see that they're in the majority, not the minority. Everyone else is just sort of trying to go with whatever they want to happen in the house. So what we've seen, Ovi was really trying to campaign for votes. He started to start an alliance with people who were already in an alliance without him, which probably would have been a good idea had he did it like 7 days before. But they pretty much told him to his face, yeah, let's do it, let's work together. In the end, they still ended up voting him out. They still backstabbed him, and it was really just painful for me to watch as a Big Brother fan. In the end, I think they told Ovi about it maybe the day before, the day of, that they were likely going to vote him out, and it was a unanimous vote. So 12-0, everyone voted to evict Ovi. But then Big Brother announces there's a huge twist that's gonna be a total game changer. The twist is nobody's gonna go home. The first 4 evictees are still gonna be living in the house even though they aren't technically playing the game. So they can still contribute to the social aspect of the game until the 4th person is evicted. Then one of those 4 people are going to have a chance to come back into the game. I think they said it's a battle back, but I'm hoping it's a vote. So, hooray! Everyone in the house starts celebrating and acting like, oh, we're so happy for you, Ovi. We still get to have you around, even though they just tried to evict him in a unanimous vote. So stupid. And then all you see is David. David runs out of the front door, and everyone starts to celebrate. David, yeah, you're back, David. So fake, so stupid. I'm glad at least nobody looked really unhappy, because then it would look even worse for them. So now we have both Ovi and David still living in the house. They are pretty much the have-nots for the house this season. I'm really glad that David's back, actually, because I really wanted to see part of his gameplay. I feel like he would have been so good had Jackson not targeted him right away. He's starting to get really close with Kat. Him and Kat actually talk a lot. They talk game a lot, and it seems like David knows what's up. He was in sequester, but he didn't have any insight into what was going on in the house. But coming back, he knows already not to trust Jackson. Jackson pulls him into the storage room and tries to play dumb with him, like, oh my gosh, man, what happened? What happened in that competition? You were supposed to come back. You were supposed to be the first person to come back. It's like, whatever, Jackson. Don't act like you weren't excited that David was gone. Whatever. David saw right through him, though. He did not believe any of what Jackson was feeding him. He was just like, yeah, you didn't listen to me when I told you not to throw me in, and you did anyway, so whatever. David and Jackson have this like really sort of awkward tension now. It looks like, according to the live feeds, they still, that side of the house, Jack and Jackson's side of the house, still don't really like David. It's whatever. It's really hard for these house guests to not look racist at this point when all the enemies, all the people that they're picking on are people of color. Jackson and Jack are still pretty much against David, even though Kat is starting to get really close with him. After the big twist reveal, we had the HOH competition, and it turns out Jack wins by a freaking one question. That should have been Jessica's HOH. Anyways, Jack wins. Everyone on Jack's side of the house is pretty excited. I'm personally pissed. Because it's kind of easy to see exactly who his targets are going to be this week. Even in the episode that aired on TV, it looked pretty easy for Jack to make his decision on who to nominate. Jack nominates Kemi and Jess, and pretty much everyone on his side of the house is pretty much down to evict Kemi, which is what he wants. I think that Jack has some really like irrational hate for Kemi, because it doesn't really seem like his motive for wanting to get her out is game related at all. Like, he just says that he doesn't get along with Kemi. I remember there's this one clip from the live feeds where he like looks at the camera after talking to Kemi and he's like, sorry Kemi, but I really freaking hate you. What's your problem? Is it because Kemi isn't like the other girls in the house who just try to kiss your ass and fall all over you for your good looks? Kemi seems like a girl who has this good head on her shoulders, and she is there to play the game. So I doubt that she's easy to manipulate like some of the other girls in the house. I think that's Jack's true reason for why he doesn't like Kemi. I also find it really funny that Kemi and Jack have the same birthday. They both celebrated their birthdays together in the house while she was nominated and he was HOH. I think that says a lot about each of their personalities and how they get along with each other, or should I say not get along with each other. After the nominations, you know, there hasn't been much strategy or game talk from any of the house guests, except maybe the ones outside of the hateful alliance. So we see Nicole really strategizing with Kemi, and it looks like they're going to try to come up with a plan to get Jess evicted and keep Kemi. The girls try to form this all-girls alliance, and they call it the Black Widows Alliance, which is pretty much made up of Jess, Kemi, Nicole, and Bella. The alliance pretty much dies right away because a few hours later, Bella runs and tell the other side of the house that they just tried to make a girls' alliance, which really just further proves the idea that girls' alliances don't work. Bella, girls' alliances don't work because of girls like you who always try to ruin it. I'm not sure what game Bella is playing. She just looks like the biggest rat in the house, and I'm kind of hoping that sooner or later people start to catch on. Because I keep up with the live feeds, they haven't really shown the veto competition on TV yet, but I already read about who won, and it turns out Sam wins veto again. What? Who would have thought Sam would be this much of a comp beast? I definitely didn't think that. Sam wins his second veto competition of the season, and Kemi's really trying, it looks like Kemi's really trying to get him to use the veto on her this week. I really hope she does, because I think she has a lot of gameplay left in her, and she seems like the kind of girl who can actually reason with the guys like Sam and show them some good points as to why they need to keep her or use the veto on her. I think that after veto, regardless of whether Sam uses it or not, The house is really going to go back and forth, but I think they're gonna mastermind a way for Jessica to go home. Maybe because of this twist, because there's gonna be a battle back and one person's coming back in the house, they might want to get a weaker player out of the house, somebody that they think isn't likely to win competitions, which is probably who they think Jessica is going to be. I'm hoping it's Jessica, even though I like them both. I just really want to see Kemi go farther in this game because I think she has a lot of fight left in her. She has a lot of strategy. Anyone who watches the live feeds knows she's the only one that says anything worth listening to. Her game talk is unreal. I definitely think that twist is like the craziest twist that's happened ever in Big Brother, but I hope it doesn't become like a lot of the other twists where it just doesn't accomplish what it actually was set out to do. Aside from that, I am pretty frustrated with how the season is going, but I'm going to keep watching just to see, because I always do this. Whenever things start to get really messy in the game, I always stop watching it because I want to let CBS know that like I'm not okay with what's going on here. I'm not okay with what you're trying to show me. I'm not okay with what you're doing. But I'm going to try to see if I can stick it out and really root for the house guests that I think are more deserving. So, because right now, Jack's whole alliance just needs to be thrown away. Just throw out the entire hateful alliance. I wish they'd actually focus less on all the relationship showmance drama. Like, there's so much useless, dumb shit that's going on. There's so much useless showmance drama that's going on that like it actually makes it really hard for me to watch as somebody who really likes the competitive aspect of the game. Like there's so much of this love triangle stuff. Like Nick is in love with Anna, who's in love with Jack, but Jack's in love with Christy, who's not even playing for his team. So I really don't care. I mean, if I wanted to watch that stuff, I would go watch Love Island. I've never seen Love Island, but I imagine that's what the show is about. But I really hope we get to see more of the game talk, the game and the strategizing. That's what we like about Big Brother. That's what we watch the show for. If we get more of that, then I'll be happy, and I can at least say to myself that this isn't a season that I want to stop watching after 4 weeks, you know? Fingers crossed for the eviction on Wednesday that Kemi stays. I'm going to do another video right after we find out who wins HOH next week. Comment below on what you think of what's happening in the house. Let me know if you think Jack is as racist as everyone thinks he is. And don't forget to subscribe. So I'll see you next week.